Hello everybody, it is Liam, the Defty Metalhead, and today is a vinyl collection update of all black metal albums. This ranges from old school 90s stuff right up to newer bands that may be released now, maybe a couple of years ago, something like that. So I hope you enjoy it, and keep an open mind. Obviously, I know black metal can be really hit or miss for some people, and some people are really fucking passionate about it and get really up the arse if you don't show certain bands, but I couldn't give a flying fuck really, if I'm being brutally honest. I love all these albums, these are all great, so if you want to check them out, I'll leave links below and you can just dive in and enjoy the music. And the first band I'm going to talk about is an American band, and this one is wicked. But before I do any of this, before I always forget to do something, I'm going to shout out another YouTuber that has just joined the YouTube community. His name is Dylan, and his channel will become above my head. He's a really cool dude, old school metalhead, lives in London I think, and he knows a shit ton about bands. He's lived it, he's breathed it, he knows his stuff. So go check out his YouTube channel, show his support to his channel, leave a comment saying that you maybe found the video through me. It would be awesome if you did that, just to show him that you're checking out his videos, because he's got a ton of knowledge and I've already learned. And like 3 videos he's done, like 3 new bands, so it's been awesome for me. So yeah, go give him a shout, he's a fucking legend. But yeah, black metal, and this is Stormruler with the album Under the Burning Eclipse. This came out back in 2021, and they already have a new album out that came out in 2022. But I'm behind on this band. I've only just got into them maybe the last 3 months, and the whole reason was purely this cover. I love me Lord of the Rings, and anything that reminds me of Lord of the Rings I'm always going to check out. This is an American black metal band based out of St. Louis, Missouri. I hope I pronounced that right. They formed in 2019, so they're quite a new band. I think they're a 2-piece as well. And they're absolutely tearing it up. It's just blistering, sharp riffing, harsh black metal with loads of epic riffs in there, and it's just so catchy. It's a full gatefold with some fucking awesome artwork in there. Just black vinyl, so I won't bother pulling them out. But yeah, it's just wicked. I mean, there's a lot of songs on there, but they're all little interludes that link all the songs together, and it kind of builds this epic tale. It's all very fantasy based, and it's just incredible. Really, really catchy album. Like I said, if you like your razor sharp black metal, this is well up your street. And yeah, I'm loving this, so I'm going to definitely pick up the second one when funds allow it, because they're not cheap vinyl, especially these ones from Napalm Records. They cost a fortune. So yeah, first one is Stormruler. I've been loving that. Sticking with the American black metal bands, this one is a band that I don't know if they exist or not. They might still exist, but they are in newer bands as well. This is the band Nightbringer with the album, I'm going to try and pronounce this, Hierophany of the Open Grave. Butchered that. This was put out through Seasons of Mist back in 2011. This is the band's 3rd full length. They formed in 1999 in Colorado, USA. And the only reason I actually checked this band out was purely, again, the cover, but also the vocalist and the guy behind this band who writes the guitar riffs, the songs, the lyrics and stuff like that is a guy called Naz Alchemath, who is the main guy now in Achilles, if you know that band. I think they're quite controversial, but I don't know why. But another they're doing that kind of blackened is black metal, kind of dark, evil sounding, satanic-esque black metal, where it's got a demonic kind of tone to it. It's not about burning churches or any shit like that. It's more about demons and the kind of underworld and that kind of vibe you get. And this album is exactly like that. And you can kind of hear the comparisons from this, where he's continued his music on into the newer projects he's in. If that makes any sense. But this is killer. Another double vinyl. Yeah, it's double vinyl by memory. Gatefold as well, with the lyrics in there. And yeah, just again, really nasty, slow tempos in there. It's builds, it's doomy, it's sinister, it's really evil, and I really like it. That kind of stuff I always listen to, and the artwork is incredible. And it's just vinyl, there's no inner sleeve or nothing like that. But yeah, I've been giving this a lot of spins. So yeah, if there's any other albums from these guys, let me know that I should check out, because I know there's another one before this that people shout about, which I haven't checked out yet. So yeah, Nightbringer, really, really cool album. Right, moving over to some more melodic, atmospheric black metal, which is more my wheelhouse. This is a Swiss band, yes, formed in 2010, and this is their 2nd full-length album. Now, I checked this band out through a chap called Simon, who does the YouTube channel Explosive Action, and he showed this on one of his updates, I think sometime last year, and it was instantly on my want list. This is, I'll try and pronounce this right, Tardigrada. with the album in a different language, which is down there. So yeah, this is atmospheric, very melodic black metal with lush guitar tones. It's very much a soundscapey kind of sound to it. It's really, really crisp, really melodic. It's just a gorgeous album, absolutely fantastic. It's really, really cool. Quite long as well, and I like that because it builds. You can really sink your teeth into this one. Full gatefold. It looks like that, with the dam bursting into here, which is really cool. It's got this kind of thick textured card to it as well, which is lush, and then on the inner it looks like that. But yeah, this is a really, really cool album. I think there's one prior to this I need to check out. There's no inner sleeve in this one, I don't think even, no. Black vinyl again. But these guys, like I say, sweet, lush, atmospheric black metal. You know, there's a million bands that sound like this, and I love that style of black metal. So yeah, go check it out. This was put out through Eisenwald back in 2021. So yeah, really cool album. Now, this is one of the 90s bands I was talking about earlier, and this is, if you're a fan of the big three of the Peaceful, and you like your My Dying Bride, your Anathemas, your Paradise Lost, but you also like your black metal, this is the perfect band for you, and this is the reason why I fell in love with this band. Band is Ancient Wisdom, and this is a re-release of For the Snow Covered the Northland. This was put out through Peaceful Records back in, I want to say, 96, yep. This is their debut full length. I think the band are no longer together, but I could be wrong, but there are albums after this, but this is the debut. It's just repressed or reissued last year through Peaceful with some bonus stuff on there as well. And these guys are a doomy black metal, so if you can imagine that time period when this was released, you had your My Dying Brides pumping out some quality albums. I think Paradise Lost had moved on at that point, but Anathema was still going on the label. And these guys kind of fit into it. They kind of have that 90s doom sound, but obviously they're a black metal band as well. They are from Sweden. Formed in 92 by a Marcus E. Norman. I believe it was his project, and I think he's still carrying it on today. This also had a guitarist by the name of Andreas Nilsson, who was in Nagelfar, if you know that band. So he was in that back then. And this is a really cool release. So you got your peaceful shite they put in there all the time, and then you got your inner sleeve jacket with the picture of the guys there, looking very cult, and your lyrics on there, and then that was black vinyl as well. But yeah, doomy black metal. So if you like your Death Doom, like I obviously do, but you want that 90s kind of sound and you want to kind of break into the black metal, go give this a go, because this is an absolutely wicked release. Gorgeous harmonies on there. It's very doomy, very slow paced. There's some fast elements in there, but it's just a solid album. It's great when you got that 90s kind of vibe, which I absolutely love. So yeah, really, really cool album, Ancient Wisdom. Back to America now for some more modern black metal, should we say. Now I found this out through Ben Brain Smasher. He recommended to me this, or not me personally, but he showed this on his YouTube channel maybe a year or two ago when it came out, and it's just a band that caught my eye because it's very different to what you would expect a black metal band to be. And at that period I was just getting into the genre more and more, because I've always been a fan of it from a distance but never really understood it, and then the last couple of years it's just clicked, and it's not really a challenge anymore. And this is the band Woman is the Earth with the album Dust of Forever. So it's got that kind of like foil kind of text to the cover. Now this is a band that formed in 2007 out of South Dakota, USA, and this is their 5th full length from 2019, I think it was. I didn't actually write that bit down, but I'm fairly sure it's 2019. And they're kind of a progressive, modern black metal band, so it's not like your straight up 90s Worship or Rage of Sharpness. This has like a death metal undertin, like there's a tinge of death metal in there. It's kind of in the vocal style and the kind of rhythm sections almost, but it also has a lot of progressive elements to it. Certainly a black metal album, I won't deny that at all. It's very much a black metal band, but they kind of lean into other sub-genres in brief periods of this album itself. Gatefold looks like that, and I think this came on a silver vinyl. Remember right? Yeah, it did, yeah. So it looks like that. But it's very, very riffy, really catchy, and it's, again, this stands completely on its own out of all these albums I'm going to show you today. This one certainly has its own style, and it's really, really good. Like, it's just one of those ones you can put on loads and you pick up little different elements of it every time, and it's very memorable, very catchy, not ripping off anyone else. It kind of borrows from different styles and kind of incorporates it into one big sound, and it's just a fantastic album. So thank you, Ben, for recommending that. So yeah, Woman is the Earth. I'm using notes if you wonder why I keep looking over there. So yeah, wicked album, go check that one out. Now this is a band I didn't think I'd ever be into, and it's kind of a style that I'm still not getting my head around, really, if I'm brutally honest. And it's a band that I put on and I just happened to like it, and then my mate brought me one for my birthday recently, so I brought the other one, and yeah, I've just been listening to these non-stop really. So the band is Lustre. It's a Swedish project. This is the first album I'm going to show you. This is the one from, I think, I didn't even write it down. This has come out a few years ago, 2020. So this is the album, The Ashes of the Light. Now this is ambient atmospheric black metal, so it's very much, it's all about the synths and the keys on this. There's no blast beats or anything like that, and if there is, it's very subtle, and it's all very much underneath the mix. It's all about these weird kind of synthy harmonies, and it has this weird kind of, if you're walking through a forest full of snow and it's all very icy and very quiet, and it kind of echoes off the trees, and that it kind of has that vibe to it, and the cover obviously suggests that as well. But it's relaxing, I'm trying to say it. And the next one I'll show you as well is the same sort of thing, really, really cool. But this one came on white vinyl, and this is a repress from I think last year or the year before. So it's been actually quite hard to find, because it's quite a popular band, you know, even though I've never heard of them before. But it's, for some reason, it's just clicked instantly. It's just a sounds that are like, oh, I haven't listened to this before, and this style that is certainly different to me. Lyrics there. And it was a project, one-man project by the name of Henrik Sunding, who does all these, and he writes them every other few years. He'll just write an album of this style. Fucking sleeves. So yeah, this one is a pure white vinyl, like that. Ooh. And yeah, it's just really, really nice, relaxing. There's vocals, and they're blackened like style, but they're very much in the mix. They're not the forefront of it, they are kind of aiding the sound. And then this is the one that came out in 2022 that I got for my birthday, A Thirst for a Summer Rain. This also came out through Nordvis Records, if you didn't know that. And it's only 4 tracks, but it's just, again, similar sort of thing, very ambient, melodic with the sound and the harmonies used, and it's just really nice, relaxing music. But it's obviously black metal as well, so you could say black metal, is it relaxing? But it certainly is on these albums. It's a really cool sound, and I still haven't got my head around Dungeon Synth, and it kind of reminded me of that at first, but it's not that. Inner Sleeve has that kind of fawny kind of creature on there, and then a little phrase there, and where it was written and that kind of thing. And this one's only on black wax, yeah, so I won't bother showing you that. But yeah, both great. I mean, the style is very similar, so the albums don't change at all, and I haven't checked out the earlier work yet, so I can't vouch for that. But this has got a really massive, lush sound to it, and it's a great soundscapey album, so if you want background music, this is perfect. So yeah, Lustre, really, really cool. So they're all the newer stuff. So this stuff now I'm going to show you is pretty much old school stuff from some very well-known musicians. Now I picked this up at an absolute snip. This was about, I think, under a tenner. I think I paid for it off eBay, and the guy said it was damaged, but I couldn't tell you if it is or not, because it plays fantastic. This is the second album from Abbath from Norway, and this is the Outstrider album. Now I saw him on tour with this when he was sober. It's very, very weird to see Abbath sober, but he can fucking play the guitar, trust me. He's a fantastic musician, and if you didn't know, in Immortal in the early days he also played bass, drums, he did everything, you know, at various moments of the band when they couldn't keep a certain member in the band. So not just a vocalist and a guitar player, he could do other things. And this is probably my favourite out of the three. There was one that came out last year, but his vocals are kind of, he's trying to do like a Lemmy sound because he's also in a Motorhead cover band. And it just didn't click with me at all. I haven't really given it another try, to be fair. There is him with the guys involved. That's Mia Wallace from Nervosa. She's the only one I actually know. These other two are fairly unknown in, like, say, bigger bands, if you want to say. And maybe the Norwegian circuit, they're a lot more renowned, but I've not heard of them. But Mia I've obviously seen. She's in Nervosa, and everyone knows that band. And there he is there, the big man himself. But this is a really, really catchy album, probably his best. It's just really riffy, very memorable. I mean, the first one was decent, but this one shits all over that. And I still think this is his best one yet. So yeah, got that. I mean, if you could look at it, black wax, there's no marks on it. I think the only thing they were trying to say is it's kind of like creased here, but you know, you try to buy this brand new, it costs like 30 quid nearly. So yeah, well happy with that, Outstrider. And then these, for some reason, over the Christmas period, just went down dramatically in price, and I only need one more now, which has now annoyingly gone back up in price. And that is the band Emperor. I'll put these down here. So this is the first one I picked up. This is their second full-length album, which came out in '97. Now all these are the Abbey Road half-speed remasters, so they're all slightly unique. I mean, these albums have been redone for years and years and years. I actually first heard this not that long ago, maybe 3 years ago. Gordon, who's another YouTuber, I'll put that up there if I remember. He actually sent me a copy of the CD of this. I think it was an original copy that he had. And over the years I've had that. I've kind of gone back to it now and again to try and get my head around it. And it's finally clicked after maybe 2 years of trying. Because there's a lot going on in this one. There's a lot going on. You got Trim on drums there, who's still with the band now. And then you got the mighty Ishan here. Samuth. But all these have got a very unique vinyl. They all have a poster of the band and the current lineup at the time. It's all done through Candlelight. But this is the first vinyl, so it's got that, and that's the B-side. Yeah, very different. And they sound amazing though, and the half speeds do make a massive difference. I mean, I have the EP that I've had for quite a while now. That went down a lot in price maybe a year or two ago, and I picked that up. So yeah, that's Anthems. And then this is my favourite Emperor album. This is the one that I discovered the band years ago, and I saw them live maybe in 2012, I think it was. I saw Emperor live. And this is Equilibrium. This one came out in, I want to say, 99. Yeah. So this is where they're becoming a bit more progressive. They're kind of going away from that Transylvanian kind of vampire in a castle black metal and going more into just kind of their own kind of sound, where it's progressive, epic. Ishan's using different vocal ranges and experimenting more with different scales and different like melodies, and it's becoming a bit more progressive. Still fucking heavy though. I mean, Curse You All Men is my favourite Emperor song ever, and I know hundreds of people get well up the arse with newer Emperor, but you know, I just don't care. You know, this is my introduction to the band, and I still love them. You know, not, you know, that gatefold is wicked. I remember seeing this on CD, and you can't really make out, so it's really cool to have it on vinyl because you can actually look at the cover and understand it. Has a poster in there as well. And then the inner sleeve looks like that. You've got your lyrics there and your magnifying glass needed if you can read it. This one was a bit more, not as intense on the wax. So that's one side. And on there it didn't even come through. It's starting to on some parts, but it's just mainly there, just a random blob. Which was a little bit disappointing, but I couldn't care less. They sound fantastic. And you know, it's all about the music with me, not what they look like. And lastly, the most hated of Emperor albums that, I mean, I can see why if you're a passionate fan and you grew up with a band and then they did this to you. This one came out, I think, out in 2001. Did I write that down? Yeah. This is actually their last ever studio album, which was Prometheus. Excuse me. And this is a very progressive, sounds like very early 2000s. Is not your occult sounding black metal by any stretch. You could barely call it a black metal album. It's more of a Ishan flexing his guitar muscles and them experimenting with different styles. You know, they've obviously gone, fuck it, I don't care anymore, we'll just write what we want to write, which is fair enough. As any musician, you're entitled to do that. And it is very much a weird album where it's got lots of different time changes, lots of weird harmonics in the riffs that you would never think as a guitar player to do. And if you listen to Ishan's solo work, you can kind of see where he was coming and becoming this ultra musician that can go anywhere on the fretboard. Now this vinyl looks really smart, probably the best of the bunch. You've got this kind of sky bluey blurb there, then on the back it's more of a grey, silver, black with the blue coming through the edges there. That looks wicked though, doesn't it? And yeah, and this one I struggled with a little bit. This was the cheapest one by, it was like nearly a tenner. This one went down by. It has a poster inside again. I'll pull that one out so you can get an idea. This is when they look full Matrix to me. When you look at the band picture, you've got the Emperor in the Matrix there. You've got Ishan there, Samuth and Trim. So yeah, you know, very weird time for bands. If you look at like any band at that time period, they're all very weird. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this collection update. I'll stop rambling. They are all mixed styles of black metal, so let me know what you think, and let me know if there's anything I should be checking out of certain bands just I showed there of their discographies, if I missed anything out. I hope you liked the video as well. If you could click like, that'd be amazing, so that lets YouTube know I'm alright. And I'll leave other bits of content here and here for you guys to check out. But in the meantime, I'll look forward to speaking to you in the comments section. Take care.